Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. We got Avid Traveler in the chat. We've got Crypto Cult. We've got Valiant Energy, aka John D. Tasmanian in the house. We've got Alan. We've got Professor. We've got NFT Maximalist. Hello to you. Jimmy Thing, D. Auckland, and Tech. Yes, it is the time where we're going to run through the weekly news updates, everything that's been happening on the Flare and Songbird network. And yeah, we're just going to jump straight in. And of course, we're going to start here on the Solidify website to check out the various data providers and how they are performing so far this epoch. The top 5 spaces belong to number 1, Use Your Spark. Number 2, we've got Flare Ocean. Number 3, EPD FTSO. Something that I've never actually heard of before. They are fairly new. They do have a very low vote power, which is quite interesting to say the least. I'm going to keep my eyes on these and see what they're all about, but yeah. Number 4, we've got Flare Beacon. In 5th place, we have Flare.space. Perfect. So that's the signal providers, and if you want to check out this website, it's solidify.app. And yeah, they got all kinds of various dashboards and information, validators as well, which is pretty useful. Lots of statistics here. You can see who you want to stake to if that's your bag. But if not, obviously, you've got the data providers up here where you can check out the rewards for providing delegation to a signal provider, as we just saw. Over to NFT Statistics. Of course, no surprise here. Blockbones topping the chart once again. This is a project that I am the founder of. The volume is massive in compared to the 2nd place. And actually, as you'll probably notice most weeks, the 7-day volume is actually more than every other collection on the Flare and Songbird network combined, right? We're really leading the space with innovation in the form of dynamic NFTs. Keep your eyes on this because there is a lot of good news to come. Speaking of good news, yes, if we go to the top 100 on the old faithful coin market cap, scroll right down here in the first page, you can actually see that the Flare network is topping the charts, or in terms of percentage gain here, I believe so, on the 7-day. It's actually broken back into the top 100. In fact, let's double check about the 7-day thing. There we go. Yes, the biggest gainer in the top 100 by quite a significant margin is the Flare token. And we know that this was actually mainly due to the announcement from the Flare team themselves about onboarding Google Cloud as an infrastructure provider. Now, Google Cloud do provide some services and run nodes for various projects, but the difference here is that Google Cloud has become an infrastructure provider, and that's more than just being a validator for the network. It means that they are a validator, but also that they are a part of the FTSO system, the Flare Time Series Oracle. Google Cloud will be running their own proprietary algorithm and submitting prices to the FTSO for various blockchains. And obviously the FTSO, as many of you know, is responsible for outputting a decentralized price feed for numerous assets. It's due an upgrade at some point this year. And that's really going to do wonders for the scalability. But the price action of the Flare asset, native asset of the Flare network, the past, I guess, 3-4 days is due to this. And you can see where the announcement was made here, the 15th of January. A really good response. And considering the recent market pullback, the Flare token is actually doing really well, and it's sort of holding its value up here at 24 cents. So I'm sure many of you watching this are obviously happy to see that news, and I welcome it very much as well. But just to put a little bit of a dampener on this, I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but this is a harsh truth. The announcement of Google Cloud becoming a Flare network validator and supporting the Flare Time Series Oracle is huge news. It got a crazy amount of exposure for the Flare network, but the real demand for the network comes from the decentralized applications in the space that utilize the novel protocols which the infrastructure providers help host. So one thing that I want you to take from this is that, having various infrastructure providers is great for the robustness of the system, for example, the FTSO, but it's the applications that utilize the FTSO. It's the applications that utilize layer cake and use these bridged assets in novel ways that are really going to accelerate the adoption of this network and the popularity of it. And we've still got a lot of that to come. So just a little side note there. And if you didn't already know, you can now claim the 11th flare drop. Yes, we are 11 months in, and every single month, if you're holding WFLR or you are staking FLR, you can actually claim your monthly airdrop. I personally use flare.portal. It's a great little website. I'm sure you're all familiar with the process by now. And yeah, just be sure to claim. Otherwise, it's wasted. And as I said there, if you don't claim, there is actually an amount that is burnt. So I believe you have 90 days to claim. So yeah, 3 months, be sure to do so. But there is also another burn mechanic that is in play here. Each month, a large amount of FLR is being burnt, and in total, it's going to be 2.1 billion with a B FLR over the course of the flare drops. And we can see this here. This is a burn update from the Flare Network official account. We just burnt another 132.6 million FLR. You can see the burn address here. In fact, we might be able to have a little peek at how much has been burnt so far. Where are we? Balances. I'm not really used to a flare scan, if I'm honest. I can't really see where any balances are. Transactions. But anyway, it is a large amount. There is no denying that. And yeah, it's great. It's almost a deflationary pressure. And I have had a comment recently when I said that it is supplying a deflationary pressure. It does not mean it's deflationary. We know that the Flare asset is inflationary by its very nature. It pays and helps secure the FTSO in addition to providing staking rewards, but it does offset that slightly, right? Moving forward, we've got this from API Portal. This is built by the Flare team, I believe, Flare Labs. And it's basically a tool that developers can use to access a lot of different networks data. And they're announcing that there is indeed another network integration that is coming tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I certainly will be. And regarding delegating or staking, and which has the best APY, it is quite an interesting topic, and it really is dynamic. A lot of these percentage returns, the APY, depends on how much people are delegating and how many people are staking. So there's 100% of the inflation is split up in this particular ratio. We've got 70% going to delegators and 30% going to stakers. So something interesting to note, and I imagine we should see about this type of ratio for the FLR that's been staked so that they are on a bit of an equal pegging. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few more people delegating. I think once this matures, I think we can see maybe a 75% delegation split and maybe 25% staking. In fact, let's maybe just run a poll, right? Give me a second. Let's run a poll, shall we? See what you guys are doing. So I want to know, what are you doing with your FLR? Are you delegating? Are you staking? You let me know, and we'll see what the results are in just a moment. There we go. Start the poll. Perfect. Let's see what you guys are saying. We'll check back in on that at the end of the stream. And yeah, let's continue, shall we? This is news from Flareum, and they say that the Flare ecosystem deserves the best. Introducing the first, well, potentially the first, concentrated liquidity decentralized exchange on the Flare network. Why concentrated liquidity? Better capital efficiency, higher APRs for the end users, and finally, reduced price impact in swaps. This is something that is going to be quite an interesting topic moving forward. I know concentrated liquidity is a new concept to many of us, and I'm still learning about it myself, and it's going to be quite the journey. I think we started this, a lot of people were participating in DeFi for the very first time, and for me, that's actually quite exciting, and I can't wait to run through some tutorials and explain what concentrated liquidity actually is. But if you can't wait, you may want to give this post from Thanasimos, who is the project manager at Enosis, may want to give this thread a read. It's not a thread, but it's a bit of a almost an essay, but I'm obviously not going to read through all of this on the stream, but it's definitely worth a read if you do get an extra 5 minutes. I just posted it in the chat for anyone interested, because we do know that Enosis are actually also going to be launching a concentrated liquidity DEX and upgrading from their current model at some point this year, I believe. Staying on the theme with Enosis, if you are holding Helon or XFi on the Songbird network, you can actually claim monthly airdrops of Helon. Yes, this is definitely worth doing because you only have 30 days, I believe, to claim them. If you are holding any of them, you can claim them at airdrop.enosis.global. Yes, they do last for 30 days, and there is also an amount that is burned. This is all of the unclaimed Helon. So it looks like 242.2 thousand Helon was actually just burnt, and that is out of 2 million Helon. So it's almost, it's quite a substantial amount. It's over 10%, right? So something to note there. Keep your eye on it and don't let your money go to waste. If there's something to be claimed, might as well claim it, right? Enosis, again, the Gateway of Destiny event has now reached Tier 3, adding additional prizes to the total prize pool. Now, if you didn't know what the Gateway of Destiny event is, it's basically where you can buy what are called Quark boxes, and this is on the Songbird network, and you purchase them with Canary dollars, and you have a shot at winning some really interesting prizes. There's actually, games consoles, there's laptops, every prize has some SFIN, but the real big daddy prizes are these golden obelisks, but they're not unlocked until the later tiers. We scroll down here. Wow, look at that. It's pretty crazy. Tier 3, this is where we are right now. There's lots of samurai NFTs up for grabs. There's the rhodium necklace, which look pretty interesting. All of these prizes have been unlocked, but there's also these which are part of the prize pool as well. I guess the next big one here is the start of the gold rewards. So the Golden Hand of Supaku, which is pretty nice. What else do we have here? Golden Flare Ring, which is nice. This one I like to call the Back Scratcher, but it's actually a golden sword of Supaku. And this is the Big Daddy 200 grams of solid gold with inlaid with black diamond as well. So that's worth quite a pretty penny. And that's only if we reach tier 6, which is when 10,000 Quark boxes are sold. All of the Quark boxes, in fact. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And a lot of the, I guess all of the funds that are used from this go towards paying down the bad loan over on the Songbird network. And hopefully that can be reintroduced to the Flare network in the near future. Moving on to some of the NFT things over here, the NFT side of things. We've got the Fat Cats, and they've just released some of the visuals, or I guess a bit of a demo of the Catalyst. And this looks like a 3D environment where you can view art. Very interesting. I know it's been a long time coming, and it looks like it's almost there, I'm not sure when we can expect it, but I'll be keeping my eyes peeled, and I'll be sure to let you know once it is ready and publicly available. Lucky Claw holders, yes, there was a winner last week. We had the lucky draw a couple of days ago, and it was the winner, 957. They've already been in contact with me. 850 worth of FLR, got Flare Community, Poker Deck of cards, and a whole load of NFTs. Congratulations to you. If you are interested, all you have to do is hold a Lucky Claw for a 0.1% chance of winning every single month. Huge prize pool, and there are some interesting benefits in terms of the escrow account as well, so stay tuned for that. Moving forward, it's Block Bones. Yes, we do have a competition running every single day for quite some time, and basically if you want to get some of the Bones tokens, which is the native asset that's powering the Block Bones ecosystem, all you've got to do is leave a description on the various traits. So Block Bones is a dynamic NFT collection, meaning that you can buy traits and fuse them to a base layer. This is obviously the Songbird origami hat, which is pretty nice. We did actually release one or reveal one earlier. Oh, we got this one here, the Afro, and yesterday's was actually the one for the ladies. We got the Make NFTs Great Again, and here we go, one for the ladies as well in the community. We've got a nice little pink hat, and we're revealing them from order of the most common to the rarest. So yeah, stay tuned. Every day there is a competition. All you've got to do is leave a description of the trait, which may actually make it into the NFT itself as part of the metadata. I really want to encourage innovation within the space because, as you can see from the statistics here, it seems like there is only one collection that's leading the way. As I said, the Block Bones collection has more volume than the Flare network, every collection on the Flare network, and every collection on the Songbird network combined. And I want to see more excitement in the space, especially regarding NFTs, because I feel like we are just scratching the surface here. I've said that there is a competition that for anyone that can take us from the #1 spot in terms of 7-day volume by the end of the month will get a boatload of bones. So wishing everyone good luck on that. And, you know, if you do have a project, give them a little poke and see what they're up to and see if they will rise up to the challenge. So this is pretty interesting as well because we have had a lot of price action recently. And if you've been a part of the Flare community for some time, I know many of you watching have, you know what is being built. It's a revolutionary network providing the very first decentralized bridge and access to vast amounts of high integrity data. Flare Network is here to, I guess, highlight interoperability, but also provide data at scale at a negligible cost. And there really are, I guess, the front runners in terms of that aspect. The idea is to position yourself before those who currently have no idea of the Flare network decide to jump in. I still feel that it is quite unknown. You know, we just broke into the top 100 again, and the announcement with Google really sparked some interest. But if you've been here a while and, you know, we've gone through the white papers, we've gone through the fundamentals, you've got to think to yourself, what is the Flare network trying to achieve and where will they be positioned later this year once Hugo ships everything? And something that is pretty interesting to see is, and I noticed it a lot on my recent YouTube videos and also on X over here on the comments, that a lot of the haters are really not so vocal that much anymore. And they've gone from hating the project to once again believing in the tech. And it's really interesting how opinions can change based on a couple of green candles, right? Let me just say that the price is not indicative of the value, right? Just because the price goes up, it doesn't mean it's the best tech. If the price goes down, it doesn't mean that the tech is bad, right? So, you know, the idea of investing is that you purchase something that you believe is undervalued and then wait for the price to align with that value. And from my perspective, what the Flare network is really building is something very special, something novel, something that's not been done before. And we're just waiting for that functionality to go live. And as Hugo said in one of the recent ecosystem calls, in fact, it was the last one in January, which I helped co-host, he said that he is planning to ship everything. And this is a nice little GIF here from, sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Dices, maybe? That's what I'm going with, but he creates some great gifts here. Fleur 2024 hashtag ship everything. So you got the rocket there as well. Very nice design as always. And that's pretty much the news for the week. I did want to remind anyone that is holding a Lucky Claw NFT that you can claim FCC for each NFT that you hold. And the deadline for this is the end of the month. So you have, close to 10 days, I believe, 12 days left. And yeah, get your FCC claimed if you are a Lucky Claw holder. So that is the news for the week, as I said. And if you do want to carry on the party and come over to the Fleur Community Discord, there's a link in the description. If you scroll right down to the bottom here and come over to the community stage, we're going to have a good old chinwag for the next hour or so and sort of just discuss what's been going on with Fleur. And I really hope that you can join us. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If I don't see you in the chinwag, have yourself a great weekend. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.